Genet Gebrezaber says that she was forced to flee her home in Tigray in November last year with her children and husband. She is from Humera, a region about 700 kilometers from the capital of the Tigray, Mekelle, where they are now seeking refuge.
Some of our friends died. We are lucky we made it. Some of them couldn't walk all the way, and we don't know their fate. We would walk for up to 7 hours in the night, escaping to save ourselves. You wouldn't know where the bombing and attacks would come from. They shelled our town. We didn't eat for 3 days as this went on. We had to leave since we had no food or water.
In another camp for displaced people, Ato Gebre Meskel is among many young people who have fled for safety too.
My dad is shot by gun, but he's lucky because there are so many people are killed by knife, by other very, to speak very bad things.
These people are victims of what has now become a protracted conflict between the government of Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed and the Tigray People's Liberation Front, TPLF. The TPLF party, which is now outlawed by Parliament, enjoyed power under a ruling coalition for over 2 decades before Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed came to power in 2018. Premier Abiy has accused the party of undermining his administration. In November last year, he announced that the regional forces in the north had attacked the northern command of the Ethiopian National Defense Force. He launched a military operation against the forces loyal to the TPLF. Dr. Kebede Adal, the managing director of this military hospital in Mekelle, says the facility was also looted during the November attack by the regional forces.
After the situation, every material they are taking to somewhere. We are not finding that. The hospital is become nil. No, nothing is. The operation room, emergency room, we have that X-ray, ultrasound. Every operation thing is there. We lose. We are starting from the nil.
But the United Nations is more concerned that as fighting continues between federal forces and forces loyal to the TPLF, an already dire humanitarian situation in the region is getting worse. The UN World Food Programme says it needs $107 million urgently for its emergency response in this region. It estimates that about 3 million people will need emergency food assistance until the end of this year. Humanitarian workers say access to some areas beyond the capital, Mekelle, is tough because of continued fighting.
There is a security issues, but still we are trying with faith, we are trying to address, at least to reach the people. But in general terms, Mekelle is relatively okay. People who are found in Mekelle, they are getting more services, but the people across the region, they are really in bad shape. Even there are some places who have no access even to go for humanitarian aid.
The UN human rights body has also raised concerns about war crimes including rape and sexual gender-based violence. Soldiers have been implicated. Ethiopia has said it is committed to investigating.
There is evidence of wrongdoing, like raping women and looting of property. We undertook a week-long evaluation on these with the National Defence Army. Any soldier and member of the National Defence Force who raped our Tigrayan sisters or looted property will be held accountable by law.
There is growing international concern about the continued presence of Eritrean troops in the conflict area. Eritrea told the UN Security Council it would start pulling its troops out amid international skepticism. The federal government of Ethiopia appointed an interim administration in the region to help return constitutional order to the region. Ethiopia has been keen to stress to the international community that it has the right to ensure the northern region returns to constitutional order. But for many of its citizens, like Genet, if and when they will ever return home is their major concern. Coletta Wanjohi, SABC News in Mekelle, northern region of Ethiopia.